Hello, so we are going to go over drip acclimation for fish, for when you bring home a fish or when you are moving a fish to a tank with different water parameters, etc. Um, for this video, by the way, excuse my rambling, I'm not used to making fish videos, but I could not find a better alternative online that didn't suck. So, for this video, we are going to borrow this little dude. He's a bristlenose pleco. He's very young. He came all the way from Minnesota, traveled here to Ohio with his 3 siblings who are similar in there. They are in this bear tank for quarantining, and then they will join the rest of our dudes. I very rudely interrupted his dinner, so gotta figure out how to do this with one hand. So for this, all you need is an airline tube, a clean airline tube, a little air control valve, and some scissors, and this little dude. I haven't named any of these guys. We will name this guy Jason. I can't actually tell these 4 babies apart, so judge me if you shall. So for this, I'm going to use my feet because I only have one hand because I'm videoing. You are going to go ahead and cut that, and you're going to put this airline valve on each end there. Beautiful. So we can go ahead and get started. One thing to note, make sure whoever your fish is in here, that they have enough room, that the water line isn't too low. Luckily, Jason's a little tiny pleco, and plecos are very flat, so it's not really an issue with him. Very quickly, I would also like to note that I typically do this in a darker environment, just to minimize stress. New fishes will often be stressed because you probably drove them from somewhere, transport's hard on them. It just is just an extra little thing you can do to minimize stress during a unavoidably stressful time for them. The other thing that I would also like to say here is I also typically do this I will put the container, so I would put the container that Jason is in inside a larger bucket. I usually use like a 5-gallon bucket, and just because for a few reasons. One, we have cats, and we don't want, obviously, cats to come mess with Jason. Second reason being, it's a little more temperature controlled. You're not going to have drafts in that bucket, pulling heat from the surface of the water. And lastly, it makes it just a little more dark for them, just as that extra security, minimize stress. Yeah, I think that's about all I want to add to this part. So what we're going to do is we're going to go here, put this down in the water. This is going to be the water we're getting Jason used to, even though he came from this tank, but we're pretending like he didn't. You can, sometimes I use a little piece of duct tape, like I just put a little piece of duct tape right here. A lot of people use suction cups with like fancy little like clips, but we're not very fancy around here. So what we're gonna do is we are going to get the drip started. So go ahead and mostly close this so it doesn't all come rushing out, and then you're gonna suck on the end. You only need to for like 1 second, just to get it started. If you can't get it started, just loosen that valve and you should be able to. Once you can see the water is very slowly coming down. So now we are going to adjust the little control valve here until yeah, we want about, usually for this size or for this amount of water, you could tighten it up a little bit. Yeah, like just about right there. That's a great one. That'll take probably a little more than a half hour or so to be ready. Maybe closer to an hour. So he is going to drip in here for an hour. He's not actually, but we're going to pretend he's going to drip in here, and then we're going to smash cut to an hour later. So boom. Cool. That was a very long hour. So one thing I forgot to mention is when you start, you're going to want to do this. Put something over top of it. Again, we're not fancy, so we're just going to use a little puzzle lid because we're unprepared. But you being a very prepared person, you may have something better. He is all good. Typically you'd want to just do as much as you can, but for Jason's sake, he's not actually acclimating, so it's good enough. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take this out. Boop, 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 boop. Cool. And then now that he is actually acclimated to the water parameters, we need to acclimate him to the temperature. So we are going to float him in here. If you're wondering why things are so cloudy and dusty, it's because I just did a water change. But so he is going to get used to the temperature in here for a while. You want to do this one for, I would say, the very least a half hour. Again, temperature is the biggest stressor if there's any sudden changes. So yeah, very important step. Oh man, that was another long hour. So we are going to release Jason gently. He's gonna come out on his own time. Get out on your own time, sir. There we go. Oh, beautiful. Welcome back home. Hopefully that was pretty straightforward. It's very easy. Here's some of his friends. And there's his dinner. And yup. That was good. Thank you, Jason. Sorry.